right, bro, we're live.
Let's do it.
Shyon'dre Pressley,
Shyon'dre Pressley, the
aka Shy.
Absolutely, man.
My man.
Doing,
all right, bro. Let's start from the very, very beginning,
Okay.
man. Where were you born and where did you grow up?
Man, so born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Grew up playing football my whole life. This is actually my old Little League park. And if you know, you know Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, baby. The original you. Played football my whole life, man. It's all I knew. You know, that's where I learned my competitive nature from. Team bonding, and that's really what taught me how to be a man. Because sports really, especially being here, we used to have a saying that the FYFL is a lot tougher than the AYFL. I remember like my old coach used to have us bear crawling the whole field. We used to do hitting drills every day, and at the time, bro, it fucking sucked. It really did, but it brought the best out of you, man. It brought that real mental toughness out of you. And being here with a point to prove, you had some people betting on the games. You had some people, so much on the line. It was like a show. You know, this is almost like the NFL. So grew up playing football my whole life, man, and you know now I'm here.
And how was it growing up in Fort Lauderdale? Did both of your parents were in your life? Did you?
Yeah, I had both of them in my life, but they weren't together.
Okay, so they were separate. So
Yeah.
who did you spend the most time with, mom or dad?
I grew up with my mom, single mom.
Okay, and you have a brother?
Absolutely.
Younger brother?
Younger brother. 3
Okay,
years younger than me.
and how was it growing up with a younger brother and, you know, with a single mom?
Man, you had a point to prove. We would always bump heads. That's just that brotherly love. But you knew at the end of the day, man, I gotta fight for my brother. I gotta win for my brother. I gotta win for my family because we were all we had. You know, we were all we got. Granted, you know, I grew up in a big family, but at the end of the day, you have to put food on the table for you and yours, just like how everyone else had to do with theirs. So growing up with a single mom and my little brother is like, I was always the leader. You know, I was the oldest. I was the first, my mom's first son, and I had a big plate to fill, man. I know my brother kind of had it a little bit easier. I kind of tailed that way from him, but you know, honestly, man, it was a blessing.
And how old in age are you guys apart?
So I'm 22, he's 19, so we're 3-year age gap.
Okay, so when you were pretty much in 8th grade, was he still in elementary school?
Yeah, he was in elementary. We actually didn't go to school together until my senior year.
Oh, wow.
Of high school, yeah.
And how come? Why didn't you guys go to the same? So did you go to the same elementary school?
Yeah, so we went to Broward State's elementary school together. It's crazy. I drove by. They're now a early learning elementary. So it went from K through 5 or K through 12 to now just early learning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So elementary together, middle school separate.
Yeah.
So where did you go to middle school? Where did he go to middle school?
So I went to William Dandy, right over there. Very interesting area, and he went to New River.
I'm familiar with New River.
Yeah.
Okay. And how come you guys went to 2 different middle schools?
Separate identities. Honestly, separate identities. It was more convenient for me at the time. I actually went to school with my cousin Jalen. I used to just sleep at his house and then walk to school. Him was a little bit different. You know, they grew up in a time where, you know, you had COVID. Everything was out on the phones. You know. So that's how
it's crazy how 3 years apart can be such a big difference in
Yes.
terms of like how you grow up. Okay, so then high school comes around, and before we started, you were mentioning how you went to 3 different high schools.
Okay, so my freshman year, I went to Dillard High School. I had to call myself an alumni from time to time, you know, especially growing up in South Florida, you run into so many people from Dillard. I went to Dillard my freshman year. It was my first time playing football. It was a coach named Eddie Frazier. I'll never forget his name, God rest his soul. He went to school with my mom, my uncles, and I actually stopped playing football. So I stopped playing football my 7th grade year, and you know, transitioning from 7th grade, 8th grade, that's like going to a new phase. So he told me to come back. I wanted to play basketball, and so I went to Dillard. They was good at basketball. I'm 5'7". Everybody else is 6'4", dunking. I could barely make a layup. So, you know, and Coach Frazier said, "Listen, man, come check it out, man. Come give yourself a shot." And I did. Ended up playing JV for a couple of games, and I actually transferred to Archbishop McCarthy my sophomore year because I said, you know what, I wanted to play. My uncle, his name is Shyon'dre Pressley. He actually coaches at MacArthur now. He was the reason I really got back into football because he was in Chicago for a long period of my life. Moved down here, he got me to Archbishop with his old coach, Coach Walker. He used to pick me up from school every day, man. He used to pick me up from school, take me to school, and pay for my lunch.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
did you have good grades in school?
Oh, of course. I've always been a good student. I was like the chameleon. You know, I can hang with the straight A students, and I can hang with the not so straight A students.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Dillard is obviously not a private school.
No.
So for you, how different was it going from from public school to private school?
Man, your perspective on life changes, bro. Your perspective on life changes because Dillard, it was a little bit more rough. You know, what we valued at Dillard, like if you saw somebody with designer shoes, you would think that's a big deal. Versus going to a private school, that's their everyday shoes, their everyday wear. So they don't really see it as that. And the main thing is just perspective and mindset, because how private school kids view certain things, they grew up with it, so they may not appreciate it as much. They may not see it as such a huge deal because they're used to having it. Versus people who went to school at Dillard, you know, they had a little bit more grit to them. They had to fight for a lot more stuff and a little bit work. So I say it was a huge culture shock, man. It was a huge culture shock. I used to never say the word bro. You know, I was in an unfamiliar environment and showed me like, man, it's so much more to life. It showed me that sometimes you're surrounded around small-minded people, but it's not their fault because they grew up in that same thing too. But it was a blessing I got to see that, and it kind of helped me when I know how to relate to certain people.
So then from there, so you start at Dillard freshman, then you go to Archbishop McCarthy,
Yeah.
10th grade, and then you go to Gibbons,
Oh, yeah.
11th and 12th grade.
Yeah.
And that's like a step up,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
from Archbishop McCarthy. So how was your experience at Cardinal Gibbons?
Man,
By the way, I'm very familiar because you guys are like competitors in basketball.
Yeah.
I used to guard Jose Morales.
Okay.
He ended up going to Princeton.
Oh, that's
He was
fine.
in my class, 2015. And I remember, you know, going to Cardinal Gibbons, going to Pinecrest, and seeing that, right? Like seeing the differences in the bathrooms, seeing how kids were comfortable leaving their iPads and stuff around. Where, bro, in my high school, nobody had an iPad, nobody, right? So how was your experience at Cardinal Gibbons for junior and senior year?
Man. So when I went to Archbishop, the football team sucked. And you ever been in an environment to where you knew you were meant for more? You know, and the transition from Archbishop to Gibbons was a state champ. They had just won states the previous year, so I knew I had to come in and compete, which I did. Met some of my best friends there, and bro, the culture, man. You know what it's like to be in a winning culture, a winning environment, and everyone around you is good. You know, so it brought the best out of me because it was people where they actually just had a Netflix show too. That's the year I came after that. They were on Netflix. I'm like, damn, I'm seeing them on Netflix. I've seen them getting exposure. We're getting gear, sponsored by Adidas on TV. So I'm like, man, I like it. But that's what it felt like to be a winner. Because when you win, you get those things. When you're winning and competing at the highest level, you get the recognition, you know, you get the sponsors. So that transition showed me like, man, you know what? I'm meant to be here. And then going into my senior year, we got hit with COVID. So that junior year spring, that's when everyone starts getting offers. You know, all the scouts come out, but we got hit with COVID. So that kind of delayed the process. And then fast forward to my senior year, we had like a couple of games, like 7, 8 games, but bro, we were so close. We were so close, man.
So let's talk a little bit about that culture, right? So how different was the culture going from one school to the other? What was different about it? What was the environment? How was the culture?
Okay, so with Archbishop, it was a great school, but it wasn't a winning culture at the time. And you would recognize that, like before games, people weren't locked in, doing all this extra stuff before the games. It just felt weird. Like, man, are we going to play football? Or are we going just to have fun and have a good time? But it showed me that you know what, this isn't their all and be all, because that's what it was for me. Football was all I had, all I knew. And then transitioning from that to Gibbons, they actually wanted it. They actually wanted to win. They actually wanted to be there. It actually meant something to them. So you can see the difference when something really means something to someone. You see how they value it, how they work out, how they put time towards it, you know. So that was the biggest thing, just seeing how, man, you know, if you really want it, go out there and get it. And it meant something. So that was the biggest
I love that, man. let's go back a little bit to you growing up, right? Not having your father figure in your life so much. Did you like, did that affect you in any way, like your dad not being around, or
Okay.
what did that do to you?
So my dad, he was around, but he was still learning too. So he didn't grow up with his dad, so he was still kind of learning what it was to be a father. You know, typically the firstborn son, they're the mess up child. They're learning experience child, you know. Shout out to all my firstborns, by the way. But I was always attached to my mom, but it got to the point to where I'm like, man, you know what? I need to be around men. You know, I want to be around manly men. Out of my whole family, I'm like the oldest out of my generation. I have a lot of aunties and, you know, cousins and stuff like that, but it's not a real group of men. So when I was with my dad, I cherished those moments because he may not have been around as often, at least when I got older, but I cherished those moments because, oh, damn, you know, I seen him cool, you know, I seen him in the cars, the jewelry doing his thing, and I wanted that, you know. So not having my dad around as much showed me like, hey, you know what? Win. That's what it all came down to. When you winning, he'll come to the games. And my dad's a very interesting character. That's actually, believe it or not, people sometimes try to make you so much not to be like your father. And growing up with a single mom, I kind of dealt with that. Like, hey, don't be like your dad this, your dad that. But it actually made me more like my dad, more interested in my dad. And I get a lot of my charisma, my funniness, how I carry myself, how I talk. I get a lot of that stuff from my dad. So I'm very thankful to have him.
And is your brother the same way?
Oh, yeah.
Is he similar to your dad as well?
Yeah, so my brother's a very interesting mix. He's like 60% my dad, 10% my mom, and 30% he's just him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your brother's a stud, by the way,
Oh,
man.
man.
He's the man.
Mhm.
So, and what did your mom do for work, and what did your dad do for work?
Interesting. So my mom, she was a paralegal.
Okay.
She was a paralegal. My dad, how can I say this? Was a street pharmacist, a certified street pharmacist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
Okay.
Very familiar.
Certified
Okay.
street pharmacist. So it showed me, I'm kind of glad that I grew up that way because it showed me how people operate and it made me like very street smart. Like I can sense, you know, when someone's being genuine. I can sense, you know, fakeness from a mile away. I know how to carry myself in adversity, difficult situations. I know how to speak up for myself, and I learned all that from being around my dad in those tough environments.
Okay. Now, do you come from a big family? Like, do you have a lot of cousins, aunties, and
Yeah.
uncles?
So, my mom's side, a lot of cousins. You ever have like those older cousins, that really your older cousins, but you just call them aunties and uncles and stuff like that? Yeah, that's how I grew up. I just met my dad's side, his Jamaican side actually, 2023. Turns out my granddad had 18 kids.
Wow.
I have over hundreds of uncles and cousins. I just saw a couple of birthdays the other day, so
That's what's
huge
up.
family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And growing up, how like, if me and you were in middle school together, like who was shy?
Who was shy? Who was shy? Shy was someone that can fit in with anybody.
Okay.
You had the middle school kid running around with the Naruto. I can hang out with them for a little bit. You got the sports, because I always grew up playing sports. You know, I was always cool with the girls. I was cool with everyone, man. I was like a chameleon. You know, I knew how to carry myself because I got to see different environments coming up. So I knew how to, hey, when I'm here, I have to act accordingly. When I'm here, I have to act accordingly. So I knew how to code switch and blend in with everyone.
It's so interesting you say that, because that's something me and you have in common, where I grew up like that as well, with different environments, different backgrounds,
Yeah.
and now seeing you coming into our business and doing what you're doing, it makes a lot of sense why you're finding so much success, because you're able to do that. That's something that you can't teach that. It's almost like you got to go through life and go through those environments for you to develop that. That's a topic that I always talk to people about. Like, can you teach that, right? Can you teach somebody how to be able to go into, you know, the hood and be good, and then go into a corporation and talk to CEOs? And man, it's hard to teach that.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to grow up around it. Okay, so you graduate high school, right? During the pandemic, or was this after the pandemic?
Year after.
So 2021.
Yeah.
So you graduate high school, and what comes next?
So 2021, I was in the phase of, hey, I just want to go to college. I just wanted to go to college. I didn't know how to sign an application, anything. I didn't know anything about loans. I just want to go to college. So I ended up going to a school called Texas College up in Tyler, Texas. Went there from June to about November. The place of food we got, it was very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm like, man, I hate it here, bro. I just left. Literally just left. I thought I can leave and just go to a different school. Turns out I had a balance of 7,200. So I spent about a year and a half working at Home Depot, working out, paying it off every other check. And I was just like, man, I just want an opportunity, bro. I was working out every day. Everyone asked, hey, what school you gonna go to? What school you at? I'm like, oh, I don't know. You know, I'm walking on the FAU, I'm walking on here, I'm walking on that. And I was just working towards something, but I didn't know what that was, you know. And then one day, my uncle called me, June of 2023. My uncle talked about, he called me because he just got the coaching job at Albany State. He goes, hey man, you still want to play football? I said, hell yeah, of course I want to play football. So I had already been working out, doing a little bit of covering and stuff like that. I said, okay. He said, we having this walk-on tryout. Boom, I'm there. We packed our stuff, drove 7 hours to Albany, Georgia. Met Coach Gray and met Coach Cash, very thankful for them. Drove there, I balled at the trials, and I made the team, man,
Wow.
as a walk-on.
So let's talk about that Texas experience. How come you didn't like it? What'd you hate about it?
It was nothing, man. It was like the rose that came from concrete. You know, it was nothing. But it showed me how you can make something out of nothing. It showed me how creative the mind gets when you don't have as much resources. Like we used to have to walk from the school, walk like 10 minutes just to go practice, but the practice had like ant piles, rocks, and all that. And we doing that at 6 in the morning. And as a freshman, not wanting to wake up, you got people knocking on your doors, you know, hey, go to class. Man, it was fun. It was an experience.
Did you get homesick?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely got so homesick. My first going away check, I spent all of it on a pair of shoes.
Wow.
I ended up selling, so I wore them for like 2 months and I sold them.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So then now you make the team, right? And you're playing football. How was that journey? Like how much time did you spend there, and how was that?
It was a beautiful journey. So my first year was a learning process because I was used to playing corner and safety in high school, and now I'm playing nickel, which is a mix of both. All I knew was, hey, you cover that guy and that's your guy. But I never really understood football, you know. I never understood the techniques, how the offensive lineman lines, you know, the positioning, the timing, everything like this, like a system. I never understood the system of football, so I went through that learning curve. I actually met a good friend of mine, a lot of good friends. You got Kobe, both Kobe James, Kobe Heggs, Robert Floyd, Ross. He was one of my older brothers, I'd say. He played the nickel position too, went to FAU grad year, and he kind of just walked me through the whole process because they knew I had talent, they knew I had the guts, you know, they knew I had the nuts to go out there and cover somebody. That was my strength. Hey, I don't know what else I gotta do, I just know I got my guy. I just know I'm gonna get my job done. So I did that. We ended up making it to SIEC championship. We lost, but this year they beat the same team that we lost to.
Wow.
Congrats to them boys. And it showed me that, man, you know what? You can be new and take food out of someone's plate. You can be new, and as long as you stay coachable, put in the work, it will get done. And it also taught me that patience, man. Patience, because that was our first year of the coaches coming together. So we're still some learning curves here and there. We still had some things had to put together. And then played that year, but I still want to do YouTube. Because I'm in school, I'm like, you know what? I want to be an entrepreneur, bro. Yes, I like football, but I like people. I like teaching people. I like, you know, learning from people. I started getting into reading books. I started being more social because I grew up, my name is Shy, man. I grew up shy my whole life. I grew up shy my whole life. But the first thing I told myself when I went to Albany, I said, you know what? I'm going to HBCU, I have to monetize it. So I picked up a camera.
Wow.
Fast forward a couple of years, here we are today, telling my story.
So hold on, let's go back there. I wanna. You said I'm in college, but I want to become an entrepreneur. When did you find out what was an entrepreneur?
It was a YouTuber. It was YouTubers I was watching.
Okay.
Minorities, Taekwondo, and then just dreaming, man. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm playing football. I'm not the best school. So what if it doesn't work out? You know, how can I use what I like to do to make money? And I said, okay, I know I like talking to people. I know I like talking to girls. I know I'm kind of funny. I get that a lot, kind of funny. And I said, hey, you know what? I know how to get people attention. So I said, why not monetize my experience while I'm in school to pay for it? Because I was coming out of pocket to pay for school. And then I picked up the camera, started doing YouTube. My name was Shyon'dre. A lot of people still know me as Shyon'dre. It's a hell of a time, man. And then, you know what? I always wanted to be an entrepreneur because of the freedom. I never liked the thought of having to work just to pay bills, having to ask, hey, can I get a time off just to go spend time with your family? Seeing my mom go from check to check to check, seeing the people around me like, hey, if college doesn't work out, go be a firefighter, go be a policeman. No one ever thought about go being an entrepreneur and, you know, thinking big for yourself, because it's hard to tell your big dream to a small dreamer. They're gonna think you're crazy until you do it. So I want to say in 2024, I knew football was coming to an end. I kind of lost love for the game. And my brother called me one day in December. He goes, I'm thinking about dropping out. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, brother. You for real? Because college was like, hey, you go to college, get a fancy degree, man. Yeah, ooh. But I wasn't going to college for me. I was going to college for other people.
Gotcha.
Makes sense? And I said, Zion, you know, once we leave, like, we're not coming home to nothing, you know, because at the time, my mom had just moved out because my dog died. That was a whole rabbit hole. She just moved out, was living with a friend, was going from crib to crib to crib to crib. I'm like, look, we're not coming home to nothing. I said, he said, yeah, I know. But I said, listen, talk about that brotherly love. If I'm gonna go to war with anybody, bro, it's gonna be you. So let's do it. And we made the decision together. We didn't tell anyone. We just went home for Christmas break and never came back.
Wow.
And then how everyone found out, Zion was actually talking to my mom. And they just said, yeah, you know, we're not going back. She said, what? She told the whole family, the entire family. And she told them in her perspective, in her lens. But it kind of showed me that, man, you know what? You were living someone else's dream, you know, and someone else was living through you. So I'm like, damn, y'all don't think I could do it? Y'all think I'm tripping? Y'all saying go be a firefighter, go settle for $100,000 a year, go do this, go that. Nah, I'm very stubborn, bro. That's also what I get from my dad too, the stubbornness. And man, that stubbornness led to where I am today.
And you say you picked up a book, right? What was that first book you picked up and read?
Okay, so the first book I ever got, I will never forget. It's a girl named Mark. I went to middle school with her. We was talking for a little bit once I got to college. And I noticed she was always reading. She was always reading dictionaries. I'm like, you know what, man? I know that, you know, I dealt with a lot of people. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna treat this girl right. I'm like, damn, I felt stupid hearing her talk, use these big words. I'm like, well, what are you saying? I don't understand. I said, okay, you know what? Let me go grab a book. So the first book I ever bought, highly recommended, was The Way of a Superior Man. I still have it to this day. I bought that book, and then I was working at Home Depot at the time. So as I'm reading the book, I'm like, man, you know what? I want to be like a businessman. I want to do something. So I bought Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was my first financial book I've ever bought.
Wow.
And
classic, by the way.
Yeah. And then fast forward to now, I'm a book advocate. You know, books has taught me so much, man. Books is like you're learning from someone else's wisdom. You're learning from someone else's mistakes. Books takes your mind and puts it here because there's no limits. Like it becomes an addiction. You know, you'll read a book, say, okay, let me go try this out. You try it out, it works. Like, damn, I got it from a book. You go read a book, and you're playing a story in your mind. And reading books has helped me in so many ways in regards to how I view people, how I view business, understanding people, understanding business, understanding body language, everything I learned from a book and experience.
I love that. So you drop out, what year is this?
This was 2024.
2024?
Last year, December.
And December 2024, pretty much Christmas break.
Yeah.
You don't go back. So then New Year comes around, 2025.
Okay.
Right? When did you get started in the industry?
Oh man, so here's the story. So dropped out in December, came home. Our schedule was literally 5 o'clock gym. After gym, Zion's going straight to work. We talked this way to him getting an electrician job because we said, okay, we need to find a way to get money. I applied to barber school, got in, and then he called the trade school. And it was some random person who didn't speak any English at all, any English. So I said, Zion, let's just pull up. So we pulled up, walk in, we tell the lady, hey, we're here for an interview. We got a tour. She said, okay, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Gets our information. We do the whole tour, just talking to everybody, networking. So, okay, cool. And then by this time, we was doing YouTube, videos were starting to blow up. We starting to build a name for ourselves. And then she said, yeah, but unfortunately, man, you came a day late, a week late. The class just started. I said, listen, man, what do we have to do to get him started today? Oh, just got paid $500. Turns out he just got a refund from Fair State, his old school. Yeah, just got a refund. He said, all right, bet, let's do it. So we paid for it. Then there was a guy, I forgot his name. It's gonna come back. He was in the room, hearing how we was talking to the woman, just being respectful, polite. He said, man, y'all come here. We chopped it up, great guy. Him and Zion hit it off, and then when Zion walked out, I walked back in, I shook his hand. I said, you know what? I want to thank you for giving my brother the opportunity. You know, I'm very thankful for this. I appreciate you so much. He said, no worries, man. You know, I grew up in a big family, big brother's cool guy. So after that, literally 5 minutes later, a friend of mine, his name is Jeremiah Nelson, he called me. He was like, yo, man, I just saw a YouTube video on Twitch. I said, what you mean? So a guy had reacted to my YouTube channel. And that video got like 700,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my video blew up, subscribers blew up. So I'm like, man, I cried, man.
Wow.
I cried, bro. I said, man, it's gonna pay off, Shy. It's gonna pay off, man. Our video blew up. He got to the trade school. A week later, I met Caleb.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you ever monetize YouTube?
So I monetized TikTok, but not YouTube.
Okay.
And when I met Caleb, it was literally a week after my video blew up. I met Caleb at the bookstore in the entrepreneurship section. Was actually reading Patrick David book on Your Next 5 Moves. And I prospected Caleb. I told him, I said, hey man, he came up, chopped it up. I said, hey, you know what? I also do YouTube. You subscribe to my channel. So what I used to do, right, believe it or not, it was so hard for me to make money, bro. So I would go from barber school. Before I even got into barber school, I was doing Uber Eats, right? So it was a time period, a summer, I went to Albany. And I went up there, and my coach said, hey, if you're not here for the summer, you're not playing. Cool. So I drove up there. I get up there, and the guy said, man, Shyon'dre, I don't know why he came up here. I said, what you mean? He said, bro, we're not doing shit. I said, okay. So I spent like a week, 2 weeks just to myself, because my uncle gave me his crib. So I was there, no money. I just had nothing but me, my thoughts, and books. So then I started doing, you know, YouTube videos, talking about faith, talking about life, talking about all this and that. I started doing Uber Eats, brother. I used to drive an hour for maybe $7, $7 to $10 an hour, killing gas. And what I used to do, I used to write sticky notes. Hey, I know you're hungry. I know you need something to watch. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Wow.
So I was doing that for every order. And some people would text me, hey, I see your YouTube channel. Hey, I saw you put your Instagram. Hey. And then fast forward, we got down here. It was a blessing, man. Caleb changed my life.
And when was this? Do you remember the date?
February, I want to say February either 2nd. Yes, February 2nd. I met Caleb. I was invited out to one of our financial workshops, and he said, hey, you can bring a +1. Instantly, my brother, Zai, you coming with me? I just met this guy. He said, you know, an entrepreneur. We could go there and get our YouTube out, right? Boom. So we came to the event. I came with a flannel, white tee, some cut green cargo shorts. And the first person I met was Lucas and Carlos. They were the greeters downstairs, walked upstairs, boom, walked in. And I'm like, whoa, like, what's going on? I just see a lot of people dressed up in suits. I actually saw you in the suit, believe it or not. Saw you in the suit, saw people, I'm like, okay. I'm seeing everyone happy, music is going, but I just came from HBCU. If everyone happy, excited, loud, I'm expecting to see loud music, twerking music, weed, liquor, whatever the case may be, typical party. I saw it wasn't that. Then I turn around, boom, I see KJ. Right, so I spoke to KJ. I said, who's this Haitian guy talking to me, man? Then I spoke to KJ, boom, spoke with Caleb, spoke with Enrique for a little bit. I had no clue who anybody was. All these were strangers. And then Haj broke the floor. We went into the presentation room. You were the first speaker. I sat, so me and Zion, I was right here. We was in the first row. I was right here. Zion was next to me. We was just taking notes, listening. I'm all in, boom. You telling me your story, how you grew up, played basketball, day trading, finance, how you building a business, boom, boom, boom. I said, okay, I like this guy. I don't know who he is. Got a nice slick back, that's nice, but I like him. And then Haas came with the energy. You know, he got spit coming out of his mouth and shit, but I'm like, man, I like this guy, man. I like it. I just the energy, the excitement, the belief, the passion that y'all have when y'all was speaking. I loved it, but I was broke. I was broke. I had like $0 to my name. So Enrique was actually the person who sat with me. He was the person who sat with me, went through everything. He was like, yeah, man. So I said, you know what? I like it. Give me 8 months. Give me 8 months. And then I was telling Enrique, you know, I'm a barber. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So I had a high ego. He said, 8 months? He said, okay, you're a barber, right? I said, yeah, of course. He said, how much you charge for a cut? I said, 25. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get me a client. He said, okay, so go cut 8 heads and come back. I said, shit. It was a challenge because if you're that good, go do it and come back if you really want to do it. So I said, okay. And then I walk out. Zion walks into the room as Erica. And Zion's like, man, Shy, I'm excited, man. I want to get started. But we didn't have any money. All our money went towards food, tacos, and content and gas. That was it. So I told Ms. Erica, yeah, I don't have the 200 to get started. And she said, okay, let me ask you a question. I said, what's up? She said, if you had a flat tire, would you find a way to get 200? I said, shit, you know. She kind of tell my ego, I can't lie. So she said that. And then Zion, on the way home, Zion was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna start tomorrow. He gave his word to Caleb. And I'm driving home, I said, Zion, man, I don't know, man. It just seems too good to be true. But what is PHP? Like, was it one of those things? And I don't know, my mind was just going through all this. And he was like, Shy, you know what's crazy? I was watching the Myron Gordon video. And he said, if you're already doing bad, you can't afford to think worse. I said, shit, you know what? Fuck it. If it's one of those things, one of those pyramids, I'm gonna get to the top. And turns out pyramid schemes are illegal. I didn't know what a pyramid scheme was. And fast forward to now, man, we're building a business together.
So I wanted to spend a lot of time on this journey.
Oh, man.
Because, man, I've seen your growth. You've changed the trajectory of Erica's business, Caleb's business. You've changed it. By the way, you've changed the trajectory of my business, because if it wasn't for you or your competitive nature, it wouldn't have brought out the best out of Arya and Ileana, out of Adante and Val that are now coming up, and you see what's happening. So, you know, sometimes, bro, you don't realize the impact that you make in other people's businesses, but you've made a big impact in our business, and you remind me a lot of myself when I first came in. Hungry, desire to win, competitor, calling out, like just a dog, you know what I'm saying? So respect you a lot for that. So you get started and you're broke, like you have nothing going on for yourself. All the thoughts that we all have when we first get started in the business starts creeping in. You go back home. Do you tell your mom about the business?
So I told my mom, and she's like, what? PHP? What you gonna pay the money for? Because she was just tripping. I was paying money, said it was one of those things. So we bet with my mom. She said, what y'all got my son doing? She didn't care anything about the presentation, the hustle, nothing. She was like, what y'all got my son doing? And they met my dad. He was the same way. And my family wasn't the most supportive at first. None of my family was supportive for the most part. And then I ended up taking my test. And I failed. Me and my brother failed. I said, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna take it again. So I'm like, man, if I paid money for something, I'm not quitting. I'm going to get it done. So I was like, okay, we take it again. We fail again. So I'm like, shit, man. Let's go. So the day I failed, Cassie called me. Hey, can you take it tomorrow? Yes, boom. Take it tomorrow, I get a 70.
Ooh. By the way, that's what I got, bro.
Yeah. So the first time I failed, I got 52. I barely studied. I just skimmed through everything. Second time, I studied, got 69. I said, man, I'm gonna take it again. Boom, got a 70. And then Zion, so let me tell you a story about how Zion got licensed. So the day he was supposed to take his test, he lost his ID, right? He lost his ID, and then we ended up booking it again. We sat at the DMV, I want to say all of 9 to 12 hours.
Oof.
We spent the night there. So we got there at like 11 o'clock at night, slept there, had an alarm set, woke up at like 6, 7 in the morning. He goes in, gets his ID, comes back, and guess what? Fails the test. Fails it. But then I'm like, man, Zion, you got it, bro. You got to pass it. So he went again, took it, passed it. And my first client ever was my Uncle Kemar. Talks to me to this day. And he actually was my client because my dad told him it was one of those things. He said, man, they went in pyramid scheme shit, small people think it's small-minded. And then I said, oh, listen, I can only tell you, but so much I'd rather you just come check it out. So it was me, him, Enrique, and Zion. He loved everything. Actually had a insurance policy, wanted to change it. Next thing you know, it's my first client.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how long after you got started do you get licensed?
I got started in February. I got licensed late March. And I got my first check at barber school in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. February, March. So 2 months after you get your first check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I want to ask you is, what was your mindset from coming in, having family that doesn't support you, the doubts, the fear, people saying it's a pyramid scheme, all that? How did you stay grounded and kept the right mindset while people are telling you that while you're trying the business out?
When I made the decision to drop out and leave school, take that leap of faith, in my mind, I said I'm getting it done no matter what. Because PHP has given me not only a vehicle to live my dreams, but the environment, bro, the people. I realized quick that I want to fight with these guys, bro. Caleb and Enrique got me my first suit. Cassie paid for me to book my test. I'm like, I owe these people, and they were just pouring belief into me. They didn't quit on me. I had a conversation with Haas, and I knew that why would I listen to someone whose shoes I don't want to be in? So that was my biggest thing. You've been at that job working, and you're still working. I don't want to do that. And I was stubborn in a good way. Stubborn in a good way. I said, you know what? I'm going to show you. Me and my brother going to show y'all that we're going to get it done. And that's what pushed me through. I had doubt. I still have some people doubt me now, believe it or not. I still have some people who don't even come check out the business. Never even sat and didn't mean with me anything. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you because you doubted me. I'm going to show you because you thought that me and my brother couldn't get it done. You thought that I was going to quit. So just that fire of proving someone wrong, proving myself right, I knew early on that, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work a job 40 years and still have to work again. I don't want that. I knew that I wanted to get out of my environment and prosper. So that's what stood me around was the culture, the winning attitude, the belief they was pouring into me, and the mentorship, and that burning desire to prove someone wrong. So that's what really kept me around.
That's
and
powerful,
I paid
bro.
money for it, so I'm like, hey, if I pay money, I need to get my money back, man. That was my mindset.
That's powerful, bro. So everybody has a few stories they could go back to that has really changed their business in many ways. Do you recall any paradigm shift moments where you're like, oh man, it did something to you mentally, it did something to you emotionally that really changed you? Do you recall those moments?
So when I first got started, I had just got my ears pierced. I had a double piercing, and I had my hair out. And there was a conversation I had with Haas, and we go in, me and Zion talking. He said, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "What's up, Coach?" He said, "What billionaire do you know that got double ear piercings?" I don't. He said, "Okay. Do you want to be a billionaire?" "Yes." "Change it." And just seeing how he was able to be transparent and honest, but I knew he wanted the best for me. It's okay. I want to be here. And then it was another conversation I had with Caleb, Erica, and Enrique. I saw how much, it was our first closeout. We were there till 3 o'clock in the morning closing out. I had no clue what I was doing. And it was just me, Zion, and Enrique. I'll never forget this. He has my loyalty forever. So it's 3 slices of chicken breast. I have about $4.73 to my name. Me and Zion didn't eat shit all day, neither did Enrique. He goes, "Okay, can I go warm this up for me?" So I'm like, hey, all right, I'm not going to ask. I'm just to see if he offers. So I'll go warm it up. It smells good. So I'm like, okay, we got something cooking. And then we get it out, put the food out. He said, "All right, well, what do y'all want to do?" I said, "Oh." I watched him break bread. And I have family that would make food, don't even offer. I have family who won't even break bread. So I'm like, a stranger who doesn't know me from a can of paint just sat here and broke bread with me and my brother. And it wasn't like, hey, I get the 2 big pieces, y'all get the small piece. No, we're gonna cut everything in half. We had a bag of Caesar salad. We were portioning it for every plate. And then just breaking bread with the team, man, breaking bread with them so much. There's been times where Ricky done covered us for a $14 meal, and there's been times we done drove up here, we had like $10, $20, and fast forward, now we making thousands of dollars a month. It's just like, man, I get mad and I make 6, I make 7, that's it. You know? And it's funny because there's a point in time I was happy making 500. But just seeing how the team broke bread with me, man, that's forever grateful.
I love that, man. I remember your first Train the Trainers. You were sitting right behind.
Yeah.
I remember when you were asking about the event and what it is, right? And I'm looking back. How was that experience for you, man? Going to a conference like that, listening and hearing stories, and actually being able to relate to people that went through the same stuff, the same struggle with kids and all that. What did that experience do to you?
A few things. I'm gonna break it up in 3. For one, it's no excuses. Going up there and seeing how you had single moms winning, you had single dads winning, you had people coming from a doctor, lawyer, nurse, different careers. Seeing how you can come from literally anywhere in the country and still thrive in this business showed me that, man, this shit is possible, bro. Seeing everyone dreaming, everyone excited, we got we got all the energy. It's like, man, it's like competing all over again. That was the first thing, so no excuses. Second thing was, we were dreaming, bro. We were dreaming. I wanted to hit marketing director. I didn't even know what that was. We were dreaming, and just seeing how everyone's dreams coming true, hearing the stories, seeing how important insurance was. It's been around since the beginning of time. Learning about insurance, learning about the tax benefits and how you can use it to do X, Y, Z, and seeing the value of it. I'm like, man, I'm a part of something big. I'm a part of a company that we don't sell insurance. We build leaders in the industry, and that's what I saw. And the third thing was breaking bread. So how I got started, my brother paid for everything. I didn't have any money. He paid for us to get started. He paid for our licensing. He paid for the flights and the big event ticket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he was working as an electrician.
Yeah, and I was at barber school for about 8 to 10 hours, cutting hair, praying for a $7 tip.
Wow.
Tip. So that was the biggest thing. And man, I'm very thankful for that because he was dreaming bigger than me. And just seeing how your brother my brother, me and him have been through some shit together, man. We've seen a lot, been through a lot. And it's just just having the ability to build something that's gonna last forever, that's gonna have your last name, remember forever. That's a blessing.
That's powerful, bro. So then let's talk about faith.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about faith because you're a revert.
Yeah.
You're a revert. You're now, a Muslim brother. I'm a revert myself. I grew up being a Catholic because, Colombians are Catholic. And then when I came here, it was more of, Christianity. But like you, I'm very stubborn, right? I don't just hear something and run with it. Like, I have to really process it, be curious, ask questions. And I asked myself a lot of questions about faith and religion. And when I met Haas, I never had somebody that I could talk to about the Islam religion. But my roots actually are Muslim, because if you don't know, my great grandfather, Palestinian, came from Palestine to Colombia. He was Muslim.
Wow.
But it was never passed down to my grandfather and so on and so forth. So I'm the first Muslim in our family outside of my great grandfather. And for me, it just made sense. But for you, what was it? What attracted you to it? And how did that happen? Like, how did that come about?
Okay, so I grew up in a household to where you can't ask questions. You can't ask questions, this is what it is, this is what it's not, go with it. And then I never had my own faith. I never had my own identity in regards to faith. So what Islam showed me was hey, it embraces you. Because a lot of times when people talk about God, especially with opportunities, right? One thing I realized how God reveals opportunities, one, you never know when they're coming. Two, you never know what they look like. So when people say, oh yeah, I pray God give me $1 million, they're putting all their power here. Here, oh, I'm gonna wait for this, I'm gonna wait for that, he gonna send me this, he gonna send me that. And when Islam has showed me that it's big on self. Like God is with you, God is in you, God is within you. God has already given you the tools you need to go out there and be successful. If he woke you up today, that's all you need. Because there's been people who came from less and still succeeded. There's been people who had more, lost it all, and got it all back. So what Islam showed me was that I saw how Haz treated his wife. I saw how he treated his family. I saw his ideology, his beliefs. I'm like, this made sense, you know. And when I reverted, it wasn't even a hard decision, man. I was already looking into it. I met a couple of good friends, a couple of good Muslims, and spoke to them. Like, you know what? I keep meeting them. Let me just see what it's about. And I went to the mosque for my first time. It was like pitch quiet, but it was peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I took Shahada there. Very thankful. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. But it showed me that, you know what? Being big on self, you have to have faith in yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest thing. Just believing in you. Because without faith, some stuff is just unexplainable. Like, you can't explain why we're sitting in front of him today. You can't explain how I met Caleb, because I wasn't supposed to meet him. You can't explain your mindset going through hardship because no one is there but you. No one's in your head but you. But God is with you the entire time. I actually have a tattoo. It says, God gives his toughest battle to the strongest shoulders.
Ooh.
So,
Let me tell you a story about the perspective I got when it came to faith. So one time Haas is coming to BOM and he gets a flat tire, right? He gets to the office, gets there late, and I go in there and I'm like, damn, coach, the devil tried to get you today. And he goes, no, not really. That's actually God. Because maybe God gave me a flat tire because maybe I was on the way to getting into a bigger accident. And then I sat there for a second. I'm like, man, the perspective, right? And then we started talking, and our faith back in way back, right? They used to pray for hardship. You know, right now, many people pray for blessings. Many people pray for good things. Back in that time, they used to actually pray for hardship because the harder life you had here, the more blessings you had in Jannah.
wow.
How crazy is that?
Very.
And man, that really changed me in terms of the perspective that sometimes we have, because life is all perspective,
Yeah.
right? It's like two brothers that grow up with an alcoholic dad. One can be an alcoholic and one will never take a sip of alcohol. So life is all about perspective.
Yeah.
How does your brother feel, and did you share with your family that you're Muslim and that you reverted, and how did they take it?
My brother respects my decision. He's actually looking to learn more as well, but he's his own person. They didn't really force it on him. My family didn't acknowledge it, you know. So I said, "Hey, I'm Muslim. I know about my day." But my mom was kind of like, she was kind of like standoffish, like, "Oh, you're just doing that for someone else. You're doing that to be like someone else." But I'm like, I made the decision to. You know, I read and did the research. I went and studied it. You know, so I was very stubborn to the point where I felt like I didn't have to explain myself to anyone. So that's the main thing. Family didn't really acknowledge it. I had a conversation with my grandpa talking about the right religion, but I'm very big on how are you living? How are you living? If your faith is this good, okay. With every faith, you have your morals and principles, right? But if I'm seeing how you living, I'm seeing, you know, gluttony. I'm seeing you're not really working towards nothing. I'm seeing your work ethic. You sleep all day, you eat all day, you're unhealthy. I don't want that. I don't want that lifestyle. I don't want that lifestyle. So one thing I when I really studied, like, Islam is very big on health. You know, working out, being a man, doing manly stuff. I said, okay, I'm all in from there.
Your body's a temple, bro.
Yes.
Got to take care of your temple. You know, it's so interesting you say that about how sometimes family, they don't support, and they say that about, oh, you're just trying to be like someone else. But the moment you go and try to be like people that are not doing the right thing, that's okay. how does that make sense? If you follow right, it's bad, but if you follow wrong, that's okay. And yeah, man, Islam is amazing, bro. It's beautiful. It gives you a lot of peace. I always, you know, what's funny? I tell Ron all the time, you've changed, bro. Like, after you reverted, you have this peaceful aura to you. You have this calmness, right? Like this, you're almost like a indexed account, right? You're very like this. You're not variable. You're not fixed. Like you're very like just. It's an aura. It's crazy, man. Even Alejandro's like that too. Ever since he reverted, it's this like calmness about everything. And anytime hardship comes your way, embrace it because that's actually God preparing you for something bigger. So now it's November. You've been in the business, what, 9 months, 10 months?
Just about going, I think 8 months.
8 months, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy, right?
Time
8 months.
flies, bro.
Time flies, but 8 months. How much has your life, and your situation changed in the last 8 months?
It changed how I view money because I'm like, wait, I don't have to work 40 hours a week to make $1,000, if that. All I have to do is solve someone else's problem. And it showed me that, especially once you start to build a team, build an organization, build a business, it gets to a point it's like, man, this is not for you, bro. You have to go out there and help others.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like God's purpose for me was to serve others. You know, while I just reap the benefits of it, but man, how can I go out there and give an opportunity to someone who come from where I come from? How can I go out there and be a mentor, a father figure, an uncle, that one person, that one man that someone needs in their family? How can I go be that for someone else? And what this business has shown me is that, man, no one's going to save you, but you have to have a vision. You have to have a dream. It's like, who do you want to be? A lot of times, perspective, I could say that, hey, you know what? I failed the test once, I'm going to quit. My mom doesn't believe in me, I'm going to quit. My family says one of those things, I'm going to quit. But then I thought, like, and quit and do what? Go back to working 8 and 10 hours to get $7. Go back to the same house. Go back to the same lifestyle, doing the same thing over and over and over. So what this business has done for me is freedom, having fun, competing, competition. You get to dress nice and you get to make money by being you. Purpose. And that's actually the name of my soon-to-be brokerage, Purpose-Driven People. And this business is giving me purpose in life because I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always knew I wanted to be this, have this and that, but for what? What was your purpose? So this business has given me purpose, and I now know that my purpose is to help and change other people's lives. Because the money will come. It's easy to make money, you know, especially in this business. You get a license that costs you $350. You can sit with one person. They say you're putting away $200 a month. You're getting paid $600, like that. You know, I was like, you know, but it's purpose, man, because you can make all the money in the world, and sometimes people get big-headed. Sometimes people get big-headed. They get cocky. They get uncoachable, and God will humble you. He will humble you very quick. And I feel bad for people that quit this because I think of network marketing like this. I meet this person who's a stranger. I turn him into a friend. We do business. He introduces me to his friends. I meet them. They introduce me to their friends. Network marketing is making a lot of friends and getting referrals on social media. That's literally all it is. So I sat with a health insurance guy the other day. He said, "How much do y'all pay for leads?" I said, "Brother, I don't know how to buy a lead, man." He said, "What do you mean?" So he has to pay for leads, overhead, this, that. I'm like, with PHP, your leads is people you know, people your people know, people who you don't know. That's free. Your leads is building relationships with people, helping their family. Nothing beats. I look at buying a lead like this. You ever see the guy that gets girls off of Tinder, only DM girls and stuff like that?
Hinge.
And then you got the guy who actually go out there, talk, hey, how you doing? You look good, boom, boom, chop it up. You can see the difference in how they carry themselves. And with leads compared to network marketing, it's like, bro, nothing, with a lead, I would never go and sit in someone's house with someone's mother, the whole family there, I can never go have a hand-cooked meal at 11 o'clock at night talking about business, finances, faith, and dreaming. A lead can't get me that. A bought lead can't get me that. It's transactional. So that's what this business is talking about. You can build a business in network marketing, man. It's so easy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People get themselves an excuse like, man, I can't talk to people. I don't like people. It's bullshit. Yeah. It's people all around you. How do you not like people? Maybe you may have a bad experience as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a fuck? You're gonna live life in a bubble? If that's the case, what's the point of living life? That's not life. Like, people give themselves an excuse so that they can give themselves an out.
Mm.
This business showed you that there's no excuses. You can be Colombian, make money, Mexican, El Salvadorian, immigrant, Haitian, Jamaican, whatever the case may be, and still win in this business. So PHP has showed me that, man, it's life and everything you want is in the palm of your hands. You just have to go out there and get it. Not chase it, get it.
Mm.
So when you chase something, that means it's running away from you. But when you attract it, when you embody it, when you live it, it's going to come to you. So to answer your question, what was it? Oh, shit.
I forgot, but
Yeah, me too.
whatever the question was, the answer was on point, bro.
Yes.
All I know is that name is sick, powerful name, and you're going to attract a lot of people to that because that's what people like, bro, is purpose. You know, and it's crazy because there's wealthy people out there that have all the money and have the houses, the cars, and they live that life, but they're miserable because they don't have that. They don't have purpose. Man, I'm curious to know, what was that feeling like from being broke as hell, not having money, to then making $7,000-8,000 in a month? How was that feeling?
It felt unreal because I thought it was a lot of money. And I realized 7,000-8,000 compared to who? Like, in this business, it's like, man, you see someone doing the exact same thing you're doing. I thought 7,000-8,000 was a lot. Imagine 700,000.
Oof.
Imagine 7 million a month. So I'm like, man, if I could do it that easy, imagine year one. Imagine year two. Imagine I got 6,000-7,000 people making 6,000-7,000. Imagine that. Talk about a good life. So it showed me that, man, you know what, Shy? You can do it. Once I got my first check at barber school, $543, I'll never forget. I said, oh man, I'm all in. I can do it. You just have to apply yourself every day. Because if you do it every day, you're going to get lucky. I had a client I met the same day, great guy, great energy, looking to get into the business. Came by, loved everything, loved the great energy. He said, yeah, I'm gonna get a policy. I just protected someone else's life. Because people look at sales like, oh, you're selling insurance. They don't understand the value of it. I'm like, hold on. I just protected his whole family. If something was to happen to him, his grandkids would be good.
Mm.
So I don't look at selling insurance like I'm hustling insurance. I'm just selling it, sell it. No. I'm providing something that could change someone's life. I'm protecting someone's life. I'm actually going out there being a superhero. Like when I talk to law enforcement and firefighters, actually a fire station right there, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I talk to them, I look at them like, man, you know what? Y'all are going at risk of your life. Man, if you had a license, that 100,000 you're getting a year, you're worth so much more. So much more. Cause I tell them all the time, hey, yeah, y'all go run into the burning buildings, man. I'm gonna make sure they got the money to pay for it. I tell them that all the time. So it's a beautiful industry, man. Some people got burnt. Some people had a bad experience. But I'm like, man, if you just learn how to shake someone's hand, do that a couple of times, you're gonna get lucky and win. So making that money, going from $7, $500 a month to a couple G's, man, it's a new next. Cause my goal, I'm like, oh, I just want to make 3,000. I made 3, doubled it. Oh man, what's next? You know. So now the goal is to go from making 7, 8 to now make 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 millions a month. And it's possible.
100%.
It's possible.
You know what's so crazy? This business, it rewards you based on how much you as a person grow.
100%.
There's no other business where money is a reflection of how much you've improved and gotten better.
1,000%.
And that's why I'm always very transparent with my income year over year over year, because it's the growth and the self-development that I've had, it's the conversations that I've had with Haas that have made me more money. So think about when you meet someone brand new that has those fears, that has those limitations, that has that scarcity mindset, that doesn't have any dreams, that doesn't have any goals, that doesn't have any vision, and you help that person get that, and the moment they do, they make money.
Yeah.
What other business can somebody be able to do that? It's beautiful, and we solve problems, you know, because me and you, we grew up around a similar environment, around a lot of victim mentality, around a lot of scarcity, around a lot of blaming everyone else.
Oh my God, taxes. Oh my God, the government.
The wealthy, right?
I'm like, man, people get themselves so much excuses, but it's somebody who did it. I gotta go to work. My boss is tripping. Quit. Become your own boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people say, man, the system is hard. I'm black. Everything is against me. It's a black millionaire. It's a black billionaire. It's a black trillionaire out there somewhere. I think the richest person ever was a Muslim brother. I forgot his name. I'm gonna search it up, but he worth something over quadrillion, a couple of dollars from Egypt, actually. I'm like, you giving yourself an excuse like you're not alive. Like you literally can't do anything. All you have to do is make a decision to do it, and you'll be good. Just do it.
It's the programming. We've been programmed that way. So our job is to unprogram and program people. I saw a quote not too long ago, I think Okafor posted it, and he says, the quote goes like this: I'd rather be brainwashed to be financially free than be brainwashed to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life.
You're gonna work 30, 40, you're gonna give your life away for 30 to 40 years just to ask someone where you keep going on vacation. Just the hopes and tired of a pension. But you're living now. I spoke with a family member of mine. They said, well, in 30 years, I'm gonna be a millionaire. That's 30 years. What about now? What about from now to the next year or 2 years? It's like being in this business, well, I'm gonna speak for our office alone. Thinking big is normal. Thinking, man, I wanna go out there and make $1 million a month, it doesn't sound like you're talking gibberish because there's somebody doing it.
Yep.
So I'd say the biggest thing, man, just surround yourself in an environment people want to see you win, but also doing right by people. Because if you don't, it's gonna show. If you do bad business, it's gonna show a bad chargeback. If you do bad business, it's not gonna stick on the books. You get what I'm saying? It will reflect, and your income is a reflection of your identity. If you see 3,000 as a lie, you're only gonna make 2,700. If you see 6,000 as a lie, you're only gonna make 5,500. You can only rise. Your income can only rise to the level of your identity. So once you place that identity with belief, passion, excitement, and then burning desire, you're never gonna lose. And it's easy to make money, but you have to put in the work. I think a lot of times in this business, people quit before they get started because they're scared to change and they're scared to put in the work. They'll rather to go work for a guaranteed check. I'm like, what's guaranteed? What's really guaranteed? Wait, hold on. You mean tell me a check every 2 weeks, so that's twice a month, is a guaranteed life? How? If you don't want to work, you don't make money. If we don't make a sale, we don't make money. Okay. Who's controlling me to make a sale? Me. Okay. Who's controlling me to go to work? Someone else. Okay. If I don't go out there and solve someone's problem, and what I love about sales is that it's no limit. People, I don't like people. It's 8 million. I can't make a sale. You just walk past 100 people. If you're working a job, you're in one spot the entire time. You're never going to get past what they have signed on paper. Sales, you can go from 0 to 100,000 in a month, in 6 months, off of one check. So sales is a beautiful thing, man.
It's the best, man.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Sales make the world go round.
So now let's talk a little bit about like your brother, right? He's had a lot of growth in this business himself. Sure. He's changed a lot as well. And now you guys both are practically bringing income and you're doing your thing. you know, what is your vision for you and your brother in the next 6 to 12 months?
6 to 12 months. What's the vision for me and Zion? So I'd be a marketing director. He'll be an upcoming director, about to be a broker. We're gonna have our apartment in Los Olas, 2-2. We're gonna have a balcony. We're gonna look out into the city. By then, I'm gonna hire a staff, most likely a camera crew too, just every now and then do some content. We're gonna move out.
Shout out to Nixon.
Shout out to Nixon. Shout out to Nixon. And then we're just gonna live in the dream, man. Getting up together, grinding together, building a business together. Because something I'm strong at, Zion is. So I say our vision is this. We're gonna, in the next 6 to 12 months, we're gonna be in a position to where no one can ever hold anything over our head anymore. We're gonna be in a position to where, hey, we don't have to depend on someone else for money. We don't have to ask someone for money. We don't have to depend on someone, hey, can I use your car? Hey, can I borrow some eggs? Hey, this and that. No, we're gonna have our own shit. And he's gonna be doing this art. His channel's gonna go up. My channel's gonna go up. We're gonna have a team of, I'd say a little over 40 people coming to meetings. But not just coming to meetings, taking notes coming to meetings, growing coming to meetings, not just coming just to show up, coming to actually make a purpose. We're gonna be speaking in a lot of schools in the next couple of months, doing a lot of community events, starting our own run clubs, our own fitness clubs. We're gonna have a brand too. Just building it together, man. Just honestly building it together. Look forward to starting our own podcast too, the Pressley Boys podcast. Look forward to seeing that soon.
Ooh, I like that.
And the next 6 to 12 months is going to be magical. He's going to be over 100K. I'm going to be about 250. He might even beat me to it. You know we're competitive, so I'm going to be over 250.
Don't sleep on him.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure I put my brother in position to win, because I know he'll do the same for me, and we're going to do it together. So that's where we're at next 6 to 12 months.
Love that, man. Who when you were growing up, who did you look up to? Did you have any like athletes that you looked up to? Maybe rappers, right? Some of us looked up to rappers, actors. Like who did you grow up watching and look up to?
I'd say I had an uncle who he was owning the gym at the time. I said, man, I want to do that. You know, I had coming up, they asked, what do you want to be when you get older? I said, I want to be a trainer, because I knew that I could work around athletes. I knew that I could do this and that. So I really didn't find someone who I wanted to be like, until I got to about like high school, middle school. And I said, okay, I wanted to do that, but wait, someone's doing YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to do this. I want to influence people. I wanted to be an influencer. So having and seeing that, I'm like, man, I gotta go get it. You know, so I say that I looked up to, I never really wanted to be like anyone who just traits from everyone. That kind of placed it in my own mind, so that's the person I want to be. So I created the image of who I wanted to be and who I looked up to, which is my future self. I look up to that person in the mirror every day, because typically coming up, you tend to idolize people. But I knew that I'm very stubborn and very prideful. I'm like, man, I don't want to be him. I want to be me. I like what he got going on, so I want that. I don't want his life, but I want that specific person. I want that. So I take bits and pieces and just kind of create my own image. So
that's what's up, man. So we'll finish it off with this. I was like asking people this, so I'm gonna say someone's name and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind, and then we'll do a part 2, man. We got to.
Absolutely.
Right?
Look forward to it.
So mom, what comes to mind when you think about your mom?
Very hard-working, selfless woman. Been through a lot, and is meant for more, man. My mom is a very hard-working woman. She has her ways, but she's meant for a lot more. I just want her to see it. You know, she grew up a very interesting way. Had to always depend on herself. I just want her to be in a position to where she doesn't need to depend on anyone.
Mm.
You know, she can be happy. You know, and I want her to be happy, and she hasn't been happy for a long time. So I say, hardworking woman that wants to be happy just has to find a way to be happy. Shout out to my Dukes.
What about dad? What comes to mind when you think about your dad?
Dad. Oh man. So my dad, stubborn for sure, hard-headed as hell, but it's really a good thing though, because he knew that, man, what I can make here, a job is nothing. My dad is someone who had the dream, had the ambition, just didn't put it in the right vehicle.
Mm.
If he would have put it into a business, oh, we'd be good. We'd be millionaires by now. But I said my dad is someone that always believed in himself and is almost delusion.
Mm.
Always thinks he's a man. My dad was someone who really spoke like, man, listen, y'all have my blood running in y'all veins. Y'all have like me and you. Like I'm living in you. He used to say, your boogers is my boogers. He was very crazy. But my dad was someone who always poured belief, but he just didn't place it in the right spot. Like anyone who knows my dad knows that he always did what was genuine and best by heart up to his belief. Sometimes he'll get in his own way, but my dad is someone that is a believer, man. A dreamer, charismatic. Asshole sometimes, but he's funny. So that's my dad.
What about your brother?
Oh, man. If it was someone that I'd be take a bullet for, die for, fight for, it would be my brother. Because nothing drives me more than someone like hurting my brother. And seeing how, watching him grow, it's like, I want to do what's right for him, man. I want to win for him. Because I remember those times where he sacrificed for us to do this business. I remember those times where we cried, man. It just, man, we got to do this, bro. I remember those late night talks, those late night runs. We'd be out all day just getting content. Shy, one day's gonna pay out. Zai, one day's gonna pay. We just gotta do it. And through hardship, it brought us closer. So when I think of my brother, I think of someone that I want to be better than me. Someone that I want to win at the highest level. So that's how I feel about my brother.
What about Enrique?
Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy. Although, man, if it's all my Spanish spots come from Enrique, bro. Just be honest. But Enrique was like the older brother I never had. What really clicked with me and Enrique was like, I saw how he broke bread with us, man. And sometimes we'll butt heads with certain things, but I will never forget those meals where we only have $14 as a collective. We still broke bread. We still find a way to make it happen. You know, all those 30s, learning about car parts, all that stuff, it just, man, that's ride or die, man. I'm thankful for him.
My man. What about Erica?
Oh, God. Miss Erica. Hard-working woman, very selfless, has that motherly spirit. You know, you can just feel the spirit she has, and her why is very big. And if it's someone I respect, if it's someone I admire, I say Miss Erica, because I know how she fights for us. Like, I would take my shirt off in this hot-ass sun to give it to Miss Erica. I know the belief she's poured into me as I am time after time after time after time after time, and I'm very thankful to have her in my life. So, gotta win for her too.
And then last but not least,
The one and only.
Hasbusi.
Man, Haas. If it was someone that I respected not only as a man, but as a father figure, as a leader, as a friend, as a business partner, as a coach, Haas has changed my life in ways I never thought I'd imagine. He helped me find my faith, first and foremost. He's poured time and belief to me and my brothers countless times over and over and over and over again. And he showed me that you can be human doing this business, bro. Like the talks we had with Haas, man, you was like, damn, this is someone's worth $500,000. And he's opened so many doors for me, bro, and I'm very thankful to have him in my life, because without him, I could say I wouldn't be who I am today. And he's actually someone I look up to, someone I strive to be like. I don't want to be him. I want to be, I want someone to respect me like they respect Haas. I want someone to say, damn, Haas Boosie? That's how I want someone to view my last name. I can see how the team treats him. I can see even his growth with me and Zion. I can see how selfless he is, and I want to be like that. So,
Powerful, bro. So let's say that this is you right now, and you're walking up right here to this field, and there's the 10, 12-year-old Shy on the field, and he runs to the sideline. Well, what are you telling your 10, 12-year-old self?
Shy, always believe in you. Never let anyone else's limited beliefs determine your future. You are worthy of it all, man. You can do it. You can go out there and score 100 touchdowns. You can go out there and win at the highest level. A message to my 10-year-old self would be, you are great. You are worthy. You are great. Nothing can stop you. Now, a message to my future self. Brother, Shy 10 years from now, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, right now, you're doing it big, bro. But you only get bigger. Right now, you got a team of over 2,000 agents. Got a nice 2-story house on Los Olas, modern house, see-through glass door, big black house. You got a gym inside the crib, PDP all across you've written books, whether you've spoken on stages at colleges, conventions, events. You're going out to the youth and having food drives, book back giveaways, going back to the communities. And your family's good, your brother's good, you and your brother went in the highest level. He actually lives a couple of blocks down from you. You built your own studio for him, and your content, you have over 1 million subscribers now, bro. Brother, you're doing everything that people said we can't do. You're doing everything that we always wanted to do at the highest level, and I'm proud of you, man, because you didn't quit. I'm proud of you.
My man.
Sure.